Summit is the peak of Smash competition, and today we're going to be analyzing the Grand Finals, Light versus Sparg0. In case you're not familiar with these players, they are all about aggressive play, about pressure, about keeping up the heat. So if those are topics that you're interested in, be sure to watch the rest of the video. First of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about the characters, about the players, and afterwards we're going to get right into the analysis. If you want to know more about that, if you want to skip ahead, be sure to check out the timestamps. So without further ado, guys, let's get into today's video. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to drop a like or a comment or subscribe to the channel for more, and let's get into this Grand Finals analysis.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
Trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
So first thing that I think is interesting is that Sparg0 is going Cloud. So I think on paper, Aegis should do pretty well against Fox. If only because Fox is not amazing at gimping Aegis. Fox doesn't really have an offstage presence. That said, I can imagine that neutral is not as fun as you would like it to be as Mythra. At the same time, it's like, what does Fox do against, like, forward tilt on shield, right? Like, he doesn't really have that great of an out-of-shield toolset. So, going Cloud is pretty interesting. I think, in a way, it also makes sense in terms of strengths, though, because whereas Fox might not be the best at gimping Aegis, Aegis is also not great at gimping Fox, and I think Cloud is a lot better at pressuring Fox off stage. If I remember correctly, Sparg0 says he doesn't like playing Fox against Fox as Aegis. That makes sense. So let's see what the Cloud does. So something that you're going to see a lot from Sparg0 is kind of like the way he mixes up his Becker usage. I think Sparg0's Becker usage is like kind of crazy, which is, it sounds so pretentious because like he's pressing Becker. Ooh, again, like quick, act surprise. But it's actually kind of crazy how his little mix-ups do a lot for the character. So, go for the limit charge. And this is, like, from the get-go, not really something that I like in terms of decision-making. Cloud using Becker, oh my gosh. Because, like, the limit charge, generally, the limit charge is to force your opponent to approach, right? Which is what Cloud wants. Because, like, good luck approaching him through his Becker wall, through his up out of shield, stuff like that. But, Light is going to fuck you up. Light's going to run in. So, a little bit questionable, but let's continue watching. Tries to get center. So, you can kind of see how the follow-up hit comes from this first decision, right? So, he goes for limit charge, then tries to get center back because he's now in a corner, and that's why he gets hit, right? So the stage positioning already like in favor of Light. I really like to see that using that rushdown quality right there, and that's a lot of rushdown in this game. It's not really about like getting in someone's face and spamming buttons. You cannot even do that against Sephiroth because of up out of shield. It's more so about like being aware of where your opponent wants to move and trying to pressure them for moving there. So very well done by Light. Let's watch a little bit more and not go play by play for a second. Okay, Sparg0 claiming center. Oh, that was weird. This Blade Beam, super coverage heavy. And then somehow Light gets past this up air. Even though it looks like it's overlapping with his head here. Okay. That sucks for Sparg. Oh, that hit! What? That hit's down there? Shut up! Oh. I guess his head barely peeked out over the ledge. That's crazy. He lives, though. What the fuck? How exactly? What? Okay. That was not even a 2-frame, exactly. Okay. Ooh, Sparg0 almost died there. Pressure. What? Sparg0's overextending so badly this game. Okay. That is fair, Konos. I need this. Okay, so let's review that stock because there's a lot of things that I just like don't agree with on Sparg0's end here. So, right, this is just solid, but look at after he hits his Becker. So this Becker is good because he's basically saying, okay, here's the deal, right? He hits the LB. He knows he's not going to be able to pressure Fox in this position. So instead, he's like, I'm going to try to claim as much space as possible. Does so with an aggressive back air. And then gets his dash check. So this neutral B covers the side B2 ledge. This is super committal, in my opinion, because of how much of a fast fodder Fox is, which you can see right here. Now, of course, he could have covered the landing with other options, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the neutral B made it a lot harder on him than it had to be. I think it kind of makes sense to some degree, but at the same time, if Light is falling straight down to side B, he's probably not double jumping, and this neutral B doesn't do much. So like I get it, but at the same time, not something that I super agree with. And then he gets, you know, he gets this hit, and then he almost loses, but that's okay. And look at how he plays the ledge here, right? So he has limits, so he wants to basically get back to stage, tries to jump, tries to brute force his way so that he doesn't, you know, have to recover with a B, and he doesn't have to air dodge either. And then he has to use his limit anyway. So like a pretty aggressive way to try to get off the ledge, especially since, okay, so this is how Fox ledge traps in this game, right? He just does nair, and it covers so many options, right? If you roll against the nair, he can react and just like dash attack you still and combo you. So I would have taken a stock off of Leo. Hell yeah, put me in. Couldn't he just air dodge here? Yeah, so he doesn't want to air dodge because if he air dodges, like, and it gets caught, then he's a little bit more fucked than this up air trade. So in that sense, like, I get the brute force and like he got a little bit of damage out of it still. But yeah, it is very aggressive, right? And then this double jump, look at this. Right here. You see this? This is a double jump. Right there. And then he's forced to air dodge because he doesn't have a jump here. But Light probably was not ready. Or maybe he didn't notice the jump being missing. Because like, so like in that sense, like there's very little Cloud can do here outside of air dodge or fall down and up B. Which the fall down up B he has covered with the forward smash before was not very successful for for Sparg0. And the air dodge you need to wait for. So in both situations, like waiting is a lot better. He tried to drag down fair. I think that's fair. But at the same time, if he can only air dodge and up B back here, all you need to do is wait. Because waiting beats both those options. This forward air is like forcing the issue way too much. Down air, yep. This forward air is such overextension as well. Sparg0 just throws at down airs. He doesn't not care. He throws at down air. This is such a weird ledge trap. Like, I think right here he's positioning to cover a side B. But like that empty land at center stage, I think again is to cover a side B. But like, he makes it work. But at the same time, it's just like it's weird. Right, this down tilt trying to preemptively catch a side B, and I'm pretty sure. So I'll double check because I don't want to be wrong about this. Oh, let's just go here. I'm pretty sure the side B is like sort of reactable. Yeah, so like frame 25, but I think it doesn't grab until the full animation is over. So I think it's like frame 29 by the time it hits the ledge. So I'm pretty sure you don't need to preemptively down tilt to cover it, especially with the audio cue. But I mean, it is what it is. And again, it's like a weird ledge trap with this rising back air. I think he's obviously just trying to catch a jump here, right? But it was just a little bit weird. Did he actually get punished? No, he got caught on the dash away. Yep. He actually jumped. Oh, the dash away jump. I see. So overall, like, really weird decision making by Sparg0. I think he could have pushed that stock way further. And at the same time, Light's also kind of like, you know, pushing the issue a little bit. But I mean, it's a rough stage to be on, right? But yeah. Okay. Preemptively down tilting latest combo frame. That is fair enough. If he gets the late down tilt, he gets a combo. Yeah, you could argue that that is better in terms of risk reward. What's up, Kevin? By the way, I'm just a fan of like consistency in that sense, I guess. Okay, that was what the fuck? Single hit down air, and then he buffered a turn around, and his jab went the wrong way. Okay, cool. What's up, T-shirt? This is such a weird game so far. Like both players, kind of weird decisions. This is kind of the hard thing about the way that Light plays, in my opinion, is that because Light is so pressure heavy, like Cloud gets to play as defensively as Cloud wants, which basically means you're forced to mix up a lot as Light to get in. Whereas I think like this, just using like lasers to at least force some sort of like long range reaction, I think that would help a lot. Okay, I like this. So this is something that you're gonna see more and more. People just recovering high, taking the hit, and then at least being back in center. Like, you're trading 20% for being back in center and not dying, basically. I think as Sparg0, you can argue that it's better for him to just back throw him here, back off stage, especially if Fox doesn't land. Did Light use his jump? I'm not sure. No, yes, he did use his jump. So if you grab him here before he lands and you back throw him, like, he's gonna really struggle to recover. But at the same time, like, this is better guaranteed damage. It's not a bad choice by Sparg0, but it was a good choice by Light. Ooh, the strings. Okay. Yeah, Light really using that forward air during summit to call out jumps. I like the idea. He was just a little bit off there, but that was a good read by him. Side B back air as a combo. Nairs again, right? Sparg0 keeps trying to jump past the Nairs. There it is again, trying to jump past the Nairs. You cannot do that. Okay. Ooh. Okay. No pummels by Light. You know how you know what we think about people who don't pummel, right? Right, chat. Back air, no side B. Okay, good composure by Light. What? Yeah. Did the up smash? The up smash shifted his head downwards, and it looks like that is why the back air missed. That is crazy. Non-plumbers or chads? I'm not sure if we can agree on that. Cloud Ubby. Yeah, his Ubby is also crazy. His down air is also crazy. He pulls his legs like very much up. Not as much as Pyro, but it's there. And now you get the advantage there. And this is what you can kind of see out of Sparg0's Cloud, which I think, you know, it's kind of like every Cloud, but Sparg0 especially. Like, ooh, the way Sparg0 plays neutral is basically saying, like, you need to commit if you want to hit me, right? Because, like, falling back air and up out of shield form like a really solid core. And like, you cannot shield against Cloud either because his parry mix-ups are insane, and his shield damage is super high, so he gets to shield poke you for free. So you have to start like calling out jumps, and that's where Sparg0 just finds most of it hits, is when like Light feels like he has to, like, you know, do like a rising fair to call out a jump. And that's where Sparg0 just gets a lot of his mileage, and then he gets a hit, he pushes it just like super far. Right? Shield and back air. Yep. Oh, look at this. Baiting Sparg0 actually. Light with the full hop going high, double jump going high, weaving around the up air for the whiff punish. What I really like about Light is that, like, he knows how to, like, twist situations to be a little bit more advantageous. And that smash covered no attack that can place and attack away. Yeah, it covered a lot of options in that situation. Lasers, a few. Back airs, okay. Sparg0, like, a little bit heavy on the swings, and we kind of saw before where, like, maybe he did the, like Kevin said, maybe he did the late down tilt to combo into a back air, but because of that, like, he's opening himself up, and like the preemptive up smash as well, the up smash on the back air as well. Yeah, what's up, Quali? I like the shield release Ledgetrap Light is using. Yeah, with the up tilt. I got what you mean. Right here, shield drop up tilt. Yeah, I mean, it's up tilt is like frame 3, right? So you can maybe react to normal get up and drop up tilt. Because neutral get up is like 34 frames, 33, 34. Let's see, Ledge stats. Yeah, 34 frames. You react in about 20. So you get a shield drop up tilt is frame 14. I guess if you shield drop up tilt, if you react perfectly, you'll be able to react to normal get up. But against something like Pac-Man, you wouldn't be able to. And parry, get up attack, and be able to... Yeah, that is true, that's true. I don't know if you can, like, react and drop your shield, but you can maybe react to an action and drop your shield. But I don't know if you get attacks in that case. Hang on. So attacks on the ledge are frame, what, like... Oh, they don't have... Oh, they do. Actually... They're about frame 20 something. You react to movement and identify get-ups during shield release. Well, in that case, you're actually weak to get-up attack, I think. Or you react in about 20 frames, drop your shield. Yeah, you should still be able to parry most attacks then. Not something like Zero Suit, not something like Squirtle, But most of the in-between, you should be able to parry if you react to some sort of movement and drop your shield. That makes sense. It actually is pretty strong. It kind of lines up with reaction time. That's interesting. This is something that I'm noticing more and more, is that people are kind of like foregoing hard ledge traps. Yo, Aqua Gray, thank you so much for the prime. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you. People kind of are foregoing hard ledge traps a little bit more in situations where the opponent has good reversal. So like here, Sparg0 could do ledge jump side B and just win the entire game. And in some situations, for example, like something like Chrom could do like a ledge drop double jump, landing up air back air, something like that, right? So if some characters have like scary options from ledge, people are way more willing to just like try to pressure the corner. And then you get situations like this where they get like a landing back air and then pressure from there. And then, in this situation worked out pretty well for Light because Sparg0 doesn't have limit anymore. Oh, that was so meaty. You give me YouTube content, I give you a sub. Sounds fair. That is fair to me. The last 3 iframes where the hit is active. Okay, that's good to know. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the gameplay that I saw in game 1. I don't really like the dynamic that was going on personally. I felt like both players were focused very much on just like killing the opponent when they got a single hit. And if you look at the neutral, there were like very interesting interactions, which I mean is a given at this level. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of like Cloud's weaknesses or Fox's weaknesses are not really being abused. Like neither of these players are willing to just like for example rely a little bit more on shield. Which both of these characters are not amazing at. Both of these characters are not amazing at handling shield. Like I said, Cloud can like force shield pokes, but at the same time, it's still not ideal for Cloud, and it's a lot better than dealing with movement because Cloud is really good at shutting down movement. And I guess Fox like shielding is just like amazing. I feel like Day 1 Light would have won the event, but Day 3 Light was not 100%. I mean, yeah, he had to do a bit of a loser's run too, right? So it makes sense. Okay, here we see Light being more defensive with the shields. Sparg0 mashing up B out of the combo. That's ugly. This is the up B startup. It was the wrong way. I mean, to be fair, but like, okay. That's like a frame 8 option. Okay. Get up attack. Yep, and then you just get again like look at this. Light gets hit, mesh is fair out of hit stun. Okay. Ooh. This is what I mean, right? Light just with Sparg0 with all his empty movements. If you look at Sparg0 here, right? Not here, right here. Empty land, and then he retreating fairs. So he kind of like makes Light feel like, hey, if you want to hit me in this neutral, you gotta call me out. And then he's ready to beat the call out as soon as Light moves aggressively. So what Light wants to do in these situations is like dash forward and use a feint to bait him out. Like if you look at Light, dash forward, attack, attack, jump, attack, dash forward, or walk forward, attack, drift forward with the attack, drift forward, air dodge, okay, up tilt, a little bit of defensive movement, but as soon as he moves forward, it's an attack, right? So his movement is very confrontational. He's very much like, I'm gonna dash in and try to mix you up, and that's why I like this a lot more. And Light does do this, right? I'm not saying like Light never feints, but he has these moments where he's just like kind of running in. But here's a little bit of feinting with the movement, a little bit of feinting here, dash up shield, a little bit of feinting here, and you can see how much better the neutral is going for him as soon as he starts like approaching Sparg0, trying to make Sparg0 go first, because again, Sparg0 is swinging as well, right? He's trying to keep Light out. And a lot of what you want to do if someone is trying to keep you out of hitboxes is feint them, right? Like go for a feint, make them go first, and go from there. But Sparg0 very direct hitboxes in this matchup, which sometimes feels like you have to do against Fox, right? But still, right, landing fair, rising nair, trying to keep him out of the air, full hop to try to meet him, back air nair, very fast hitboxes, just generally like, call it like focusing on very direct approaches here, which is not a bad thing because he's very much right in a lot of these situations, but it's something that can be exploited. And you can see Sparg0 with the direct hitbox is just throwing out landing aerial, and getting so much out of it. Okay, Light, that was good. Again, look at this, right? Dash up shield, dash up, wait, delayed aerial. Very feint heavy, making it hard for Sparg0 to understand when is Light gonna swing. And there's the shield poke. We talked about that, right? These guys are mashes. Ramses just shut up. Could it be that Light is the only fox that uses forward throw? Okay, maybe he also is the only one except for Ryukai. I think most foxes use forward throw as like a positioning throw. It can be good for that. Again, just land with an aerial. Sparg0 very straightforward. And I mean, in this situation, can you blame him? It's working. It's working, right? Double back air Ledgetrap. I mean, Cloud does the exact same thing. And there's the empty land forward. So that was good. That was good. Cloud. Okay. Again, look at... Dude, this is... Like, double jump back to center, right? Like, this double jump back to center, not a good look. I think Sparg0 is just... So we talked about, like, Light recovering high, right? Where, you know, like, Sparg0 was standing here on the opposite side, and Light went over, and Sparg0 would get, like, a punish, and then Light would be, like, right here with, like, 20% more damage. So, like, he's basically saying, I get to be on stage, in trade for 20%, let's do it. Now, Sparg0 double jumping back to the stage at 0 is kind of the same thing. It's like, I don't want to be off stage, so I'll take this juggle in exchange for being on the stage. The thing I don't like about that is that you're playing Fox on Battlefield, where you don't really get to make that decision. And now, like, because of that decision, look at this percent. He fell out of the up air. But, like, let's be real. Look at this drift. Drift back into center stage. Again, I'm trading the damage to be back on the stage. And he almost, I don't think that up air would have killed, but it would have been close, right? So he almost died for those decisions. 120 on him. Like, in such little time, lost the advantage that he had because of that decision. And that's like Battlefield, right? Like, I think even as Cloud, you don't want to go to Battlefield versus Fox. It's by far Fox's best stage. I mean, either that or Yoshi's, right? Uh-oh. Dude, Light's mix-ups here are really nice. Dash up shield, empty land, full hop down air, cross up. Gets caught out by the up smash because Sparg0 is swinging again. Like, Sparg0 very direct, like, oh, you're in the air, I'm going to react and hit you. But the way Light is mixing up his approach, I really like to see that. I think, like, did he hurt box shift it again? No way, right? Oh my goodness. Shut up. I think that would have hit if he had enough smash. That is such a good call out by Sparg0. And good knowledge as well. Like, good recognition of the spacing, good reaction, good knowledge. But again, like, if I were to give Light advice here, I would say you need to wait like a beat longer. Right? You need to wait just a little bit longer for Sparg0 to commit to that hitbox, and then you go in. And if it's a hitbox that you cannot contest, then you just try to pressure him afterwards. And I know it can be hard with LB out of shield, but like, that's kind of the thing about playing against Cloud. You should never be discouraged about Cloud up B. Because if you start to respect it too much, you literally cannot do much against the character. And you don't want to start grabbing him too much because he relies on like short hop back air, right? And short hop back air goes over grabs. So a hard balance for sure, but something to keep in mind. You don't want to over respect the up B. See, Light waiting for the swing and just getting a combo out of it. Overextending on the combo a little bit, but... And here he was trying to do the same thing. So if you look at Light's movement, right? He's dashing away from the jump and then trying to dash back in. Just a little bit too fast on the dash back in, and he gets tagged by the back air. So that is Sparg0 mixing up a slow fall instead of a fast fall in his back air. And that's, like, again, when we started this review, I told you guys, you gotta watch how Sparg0 uses back air. And this is, like, one of those mix-ups that makes it so deadly. Because if you expect him to fast fall here, this dash attack would have been timed perfectly on a fast fall. But Sparg0 not fast falling, unreactable mix-up, and gets a hit out of it. Big hit, too, because he gets a dash attack afterwards, and now Fox is off stage. And it's scary, right? Good job. Light establishing a little bit of defense. Oh, great. I love that. Okay, so look at this. Parry realizes, hey, this is safe enough that I still cannot get much on the parry, right? So instead of going for a direct punish, jumps as pressure, waits for the spot dodge attack, and gets a guaranteed punish. So like I said, it's all about saying like, hey, I cannot punish this. I'm going to pressure you for it instead. And pressuring Cloud in these situations is critical. So very well done by Light. Really love that presence of mind. Hunt down. Okay. Look at this. Light again. In the corner. Right? Doesn't force his way out. Full hop, empty land. See if there's a reaction. No reaction. Reacts to the fact that there's no reaction. Uses that room to dash in. Sparg0, a little bit too delayed. Gets a little bit uncomfortable in the situation he's in because he's giving Light so much time. Feels like he has to press a button and Light just gets the hit because of it. Very nice sequence by Light. It's just like, again, a little bit of overextension after the hit. And we talked about this. It's a little bit not looking great in terms of how clean he is. And then gets side beat for his trouble. Like, Sparg0's disadvantage has probably been his best aspect of the game so far. I think in terms of neutral, Light is pretty consistently outplaying Sparg0. It's just that, like, again, like, his advantage in there was not clean enough. His advantage here was not clean enough. And if you're a little bit off against Cloud, Cloud is going to get a huge punish. Dash of shield, nice. Dash back away. Bait out a swing. Punish the swing. Again, a little bit off on the punish, right? Baits out a swing here, like I said, punishes it. A little bit off on a full punish. So again, Light just consistently getting a lot of outplays on Sparg0, but not finishing the plate. Sparg0's disadvantage is looking good enough to deal with what Light puts on the table. Forces defense. Gets the Ledgetrap, nice. And look at this, again. Right? Pressure by Light. Pressure, a little bit off on the pressure. Now Sparg0 gets center. Right? So every single time, Light just a little bit off on these situations. And as Fox, like, being a little bit off is usually where you lose. And then Sparg0 does have, like, these basic mix-ups that, you know, Cloud has access to. Like, for example, hey, you want to call out my jump? Let me space backwards a little bit more and beat out your jump call out. And that's where Light, again, a little bit too fast to pull the trigger. And he gets swung on because of it. And he can be, like, if he is, again, the up smash on the back air, very, very good recognition. But if, what I want from Light, like, in the future, is to just, like, be more confident in just waiting for Sparg0 to swing first. What's up, Chris? I'm happy for Sparg0 that he finally won a tournament, for sure, for sure. Because Light gets his hit if he waits long enough. And he gets hit if he doesn't wait long enough, right? So right here again, right? Dash attack, up tilt. Realizes there's no combo, so it doesn't go for another up tilt. I think this down tilt might be a misinput. But after the misinput, you should realize, hey, I cannot do much here. Instead, tries to extend, gets caught on the extension, right? So again, the advantage state just being a little bit too overzealous right there for Light. And I really want to see Light focus more on just letting Sparg0 swing first and then just hitting him for it. He doesn't need to make a call out like he did right there. He doesn't need those. And, oh my god, that was just crazy. Really? This up tilt? Nair? That's crazy. That was crazy. Okay. Sparg0 immediately playing a lot more aggressive. Yep. Light playing very nice, very, very good patient play. Again, Light's movement, in my opinion, is really clean. Sparg0 is good at reacting with his options. I think Sparg0 does find himself in, like, bad situations a little bit too often. But that's also a little bit like Fox is kind of like, you know, having a really good pressure game and putting you in bad spots at times. Dash attack. I think Light played pretty patiently this entire game. Cloud on battlefield. Great patience by Light. Just saying, hey, I can stay on the platform all day. And honestly, like, when Sparg0 did this back air, this one, he could have just, like, been out of there. But Light being a little bit greedy with the punish. A little bit greedy with the nair. Oh, Sparg0's advantage. Ooh, nice mix up by Light. Oh my god, all these jump reads, Light. You don't need these as much anymore. Not the way that Sparg0 is playing. And that is it. Sparg0 with the win. Yeah, overall, like, honestly, I felt like Sparg0's advantage really clean. Sparg0's disadvantage looked good too. A little bit hasty at times, but Light at the same time, like, super hasty as well. I think neutral-wise, honestly, Light played very well. It's just that Light's advantage state just wasn't really where I would like it to be for a Fox player. Overall, though, like, interesting set. Not exactly what I was expecting out of these two. I was expecting both of them to play a little bit more clean, but I feel like at a grand final stage of Summit, especially for Light going from losers, it's just so hard to keep up. Let's do another set. Let's look at MK Leo.